Everyone, Paul here. Today I'm going to be talking about a combination strategy, which is kind of a add-on to what I've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. And if you've been following my channel, I've been going over things like the linear line, the 9095, the 1348. And this strategy is a combination. It's a mixture of all that. So if you watch what I talked about in the previous videos, those strategies still work. But this one, it's using all that, but it's using everything and kind of mixing it up and making a pretty good combination strategy. You can really find a lot of good moments of getting in. And this is basically combining linear line strategy, which I've talked about, with the 99095, which I've talked about in separate videos, with some other indicators that will help. And it's kind of layered, and you can look at this and you could really find good moments to get in. So there's multiple ways of finding trades by setting this up. So what I'm going to do this week is I'm going to show you this layout and this combination strategy. And I'm going to show you how you can look for certain moments. And I'm going to go over this with crypto. I'm going to go over this with stocks. Going to go over this with Forex and US 30. So anyway, let me show you how to set it up and look for the proper, what to look for today. I'm going to be going over crypto. And we're going to be plugging this in. We're going to see how to find good signals to get into trades. All right, so to set this up, there's probably a four-step process for this. There's a four-step process for this, so if you want to set it up exactly. The first thing you want to do is you want to set up your linear line. So that's basically where you have to hide the candles, basically. So you go here. And you go to linear. So once you have the candles, you're basically want to hide. You're going to want to hide your main ones. So if you want to hide your main ones, and you set up your linear line. So I have it set up to where the linear line is that yellow line that you see there. And so that you want to make sure your regular candles are hidden for this, and you want to set up your linear line strategy. I've made videos on this separately. I'm not really going to go more into it. And then you want to set up your 990. You want to set up your 9095. And I've made videos on this. I use Ghost Market Pro, but you guys watching probably won't get Ghost Market Pro. So if you want to get this same layout, go to CM EMA trend bars and put in 9095, and you'll get the same exact layout that you got right here. So you got your linear line strategy, which I've made videos about, and you got your 9095, which I've made videos about. And then the indicators down below is the OBV MACD indicator, which I've made videos about this one too. I've talked about this indicator last week, so definitely check that one out. And then we got our EMA difference here, which is set at, so you want to go to difference of two moving averages, and you want to put in 13 and 48. So that sets everything up. You got your linear line strategy, you got your 9095, you got your OBV MACD indicator, and you got your difference of two moving averages with 1348. So there's multiple ways here of reading on how to get into charts. The first thing you want to look at is, and the main thing here is what I notice is, try to look for your linear line to pass through the 9095. That is one step, that is one phase here that will get you some results here. So what I like doing is just look at the linear line, and when it passes through the 9095, if you do this on longer time frames, you'll get better results. But try to look for the linear line crossing through the 90.95, and at that moment you can actually get in your trade. At the same time, you can also use the linear line strategy, which I've talked about in previous videos, and this is when the setup of looking at the linear line and the MACD indicator, this is a lot of what I talked about last week. You want to look at your MACD indicator and you want to see if it's crossing down, and the linear line is also crossing down. So the two of them have got to match. So if the candles are below the linear line and you're also seeing it go down crossing the zero line with the MACD indicator, that is another indication of a good trade. So you see that happening here. So it can cross the 90.95, which is a good trade, or it could cross down the linear line as well as the MACD indicators. So if you're looking for bearish signal, the candles have to be below the linear line. If it's bullish, if it's a bullish moment, it needs to be, see right here, where the MACD indicator is crossing up the zero line. You also see the candles are above the linear line. That is another good signal right there to get in a trade. And another thing that is an extra layer of good signals here is we have our EMA difference here. So what I do is I look for, because this is 1348, I look for when it changes from when it goes to above the linear, when it goes above the zero line and below the zero line. So this is a trade right here. This is another moment to get in, and you see everything kind of matches. You see the EMA difference going below the zero line. You see the candles going below the linear line, and you see it crossing with the 90.95. So you know this is a good trade coming. So let's look at this moment right here. See if we see any good signals. Now, the longer you go in time frames, the better your results are gonna be with this strategy. But what we see right here, we see right here at this moment, right about here, we see the linear line crossing the zero line, and we also see it crossing up on the EMA difference here. So this is about 3 confirmations that this is a good trade. It's crossing up on the zero line with the MACD. It's crossing up on the zero line with the EMA difference. The candles are above the linear line, and it's above the 90.95. So this is telling you that this is a pretty good trade. Let's look for a couple other moments here. Right here in this moment, we see the candles are below the linear line. The MACD indicator you see is below the linear line. And the EMA difference is starting to look like it's getting weaker. So it's not giving you an indication that it's below the zero line, but this is still a good trade. So let's go back a little bit more, and I want to do the hour. I want to do a couple other time frames too. So right here we see it crossing up on the MACD. We see it crossing up on the MACD. So that's another signal. We see the candles are above the linear line. It's above the 90.95. And the EMA difference, it's going from being on the down of the zero line. Right down here, it's going up. So this is another signal of it shifting direction to the upside. So that is the day, doing it on the day, but let's just real quickly look at a smaller time frame to see if this works, like let's say on the hour. Let's real quickly look at the hour. Some things we want to look for. We want to look for the linear line crossing through to the 90. We get that moment right here. We also see the EMA difference going from up to down right here at the same time. And the MACD is also going below right around the same time. Let's look for some other moments. right here we see the linear line is crossing the 90.95. We see it crossing up with the MACD here, and we also see it going from the bottom to the top here with the 1348. So this is another good signal. You got more than one confirmation. Now this one is kind of tricky. It is crossing down. It's crossing down right about here. But it doesn't completely go down till right here. You see the MACD. MACD is crossing down, and you start to see it crossing down with the EMA difference. That one's a little choppy, but it still works. Okay, so the 90.95, there's nothing crossing the 90.95, but you see the linear line. The candles are below the linear line right here. You also see it crossing down with the MACD, and you also see it crossing down with the EMA difference right here. Okay, so right here, this will probably be the last one I'm going to do. You see it crossing, the linear line is crossing down right here. And you see it crossing down shortly after. You see the candles are below the linear line. You see it crossing down with the MACD indicator, and you see the EMA difference here is going from up to down with the zero line right about here. So there's multiple ways of finding the signal when you have all four of these. You get multiple confirmations that the what's going on in the market. So you get multiple confirmations here that the trade is either a good one or a bad one. So this works really well in my opinion. You could definitely look, but I recommend doing this here on the day. If you can't find it on the day, definitely go down in time frames. But definitely start with the day, and if you don't see anything, on the day, go down to the 6 hour. And if you can't find anything on the 6 hour, then to go down to the hour. The hour is the last time frame that I focus on. So definitely, the longer you go in time frames, the better your result is going to be. So anyway, this strategy is a combination strategy of using the 90.95 with the linear line strategy, with the OBV MACD indicator, and with the 1348, with using the difference of two moving averages. And you can use a combination of things to really find a lot of good signals, whether the asset is going up or down. We found a lot, but I recommend looking for this on the longer time frame. If you don't see it on the longer time frame, go down in time frames. The shortest time frame that I personally will do is the hour, because you want to get the best results. But anyway, if you guys like this strategy, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in future videos.